Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ammo preferences, welcome to the Republic. So, what new and exciting firearms are we going to discuss today? Well, none. We are going to discuss something a little more boring, but still very, very important if you ever shoot. And, well, I like to. So, we're going to talk about Ear Pro. Passive versus active. Now, some of you may be wondering, what is Passive Ear Pro? So Passive Ear Pro, we're talking about the little foamy ear plugs, and we're talking about little ear muffs, and we're talking about the little flangy protectors that basically all they do is you put them over your ears, you stuff them in your ears, and they block sound. And that's it. That's all they do. And if they're worth the shit, they do that well, and you don't go deaf. Something that I think we can all agree is pretty important. Ears not ringing, tinnitus, shit like that. The other is Active Ear Pro. So what do we mean by active? What the hell is it? What activities is it performing? Well, so again, we're still talking about things like earmuffs and earplugs. But what they do is a little bit different. So instead of just putting them over your ears or plugging them in your ears and they block sound, they can actually amplify sound. So ambient sound, things like voices, things like whatever is in the background that you really wish you could hear, but you can't fucking hear because you don't want to go deaf, so you're wearing Ear Pro. But then at a certain decibel level, generally between about 82 to 85 decibels, anything louder than that, and they compress the sound so that they don't blow out your fucking eardrums, and you spend the rest of your life going, ah! So, advantages, disadvantages to both. For example, my last video, the range portion of which had to be cut to shit. One, because I was a dumbass and I stepped too far forward. You couldn't see the gun and went through all of that. But the other was sound. And it didn't help that right beside me there was a rifle with a muzzle brake that was beyond the barrier. So all of the sound from his brake was going straight across and to the microphone on my phone that I was recording on. If I had switched it to the other side, it would have been a little bit better. But even without that, as I spoke, you had a hard time hearing me on the video. And the reason for that was I was using Active Ear Pro. So I could hear me perfectly. And I mistakenly assumed that you could hear me perfectly as well. I'm still getting used to it. You guys have seen me in the past on the range. I wear these. And I actually like these. But, again, disadvantages. So, let's start with the little foamies that I don't have. A lot of them that you get at the ranges, they're very, very soft. You roll them up in your fingers, you put them in your ears. And they honestly, the ones that I've used before, that I got from a range, they sucked. The first shot that went off, and I don't even mean from my lane, not from my gun. The lane 2 down from me fired a shot, and instantly my ears started ringing. So I knew that was going to be a problem. So I went outside, got new Ear Pro, bought them in. So now the little blocky, yellowy ones that I got when I was in the Army, those actually did really well. They were a lot stiffer, they were very, very comfortable, they form well to your ear, and if used properly, the best ones can usually bring down about 32 decibels, which really good, as you'll hear as we go on. 32 decibels is actually really good sound blockage. Now, when you get to things like these little tri-flanges, now the advantage, the foamies are supposed to be disposable. I know we use them for damn ever in the Army, uh, because the flange ones were, well, for some of us, they're really uncomfortable, especially if you're, remember the part where I'm a dumbass? Yeah. So if you're a dumbass like me and have to try very hard not to cram these suckers through your eardrum, they can become very, very uncomfortable. But if done properly, they're not very uncomfortable. I can wear them for long periods of time, but they do present about a 26 decibel level of protection. So again, not bad. And then we get to, of course, your standard earmuff. Now these are the wife's. Mine are gray, and I do have several sets of these. Now they're okay. So you get protection up to about, again, 26 decibels. Now for maximum hearing protection, you would want to use the foamies with something like this, which would probably take your decibel protection to about 32 to probably 36 decibels of protection. Really good. There are drawbacks to it though. First off, see how fucking big and clunky these are? Yeah, big, clunky, and frankly, they fuck with my hair, and I don't like that. I know, I'm too ugly to be this vain, but at least I know it. So, yeah, big, clunky, really uncomfortable, hard to seal, especially if you're doing the right thing, which is wearing eye pro as well. So trying to get these to form around those glasses and really get you a good seal can be an issue. So, on to Active Ear Pro. So the first time I encountered Active Ear Pro was with these Pro Hear Machete headsets. That this is Dalton's. He picked these up. I think they were about $60, and you can pick up Ear Pro like this for anywhere from about 40 to around 150, maybe more. I don't know. That was about the worst case that I saw. So drawbacks, you need AAA, I think it is, batteries for these, like 3 of them. But the cool thing is, not only do they have Active Ear Pro, so as I put these on, it's still really kind of odd hearing myself through this electronically amplified headset. It's a little bit odd, but it's kind of cool. You can also Bluetooth them to your phone and turn the microphones, exterior microphones off, and just Bluetooth them to your phone, listen to music, whatever. But the first time that I tried these out, I walked onto the range, and about that time, a shotgun fired. And I'm not gonna lie, it kind of freaked me out a little bit because I'm like, holy shit, that was loud. But I'm still not fucking deaf. And I can hear you talking, and I can hear you reloading that shotgun, and I can hear, yeah, I just heard him drop a magazine in his rifle. I could even hear the the RSO chewing out the guy behind me for pulling the rifle out of his bag at the tables behind the lanes where he should not have a rifle out of the bag. Put it back in, put it back in, put it back in. It only sounded like a porno for about a second, I swear to God. But it was really, really cool, and I've been thinking about trying Active Ear Pro for a while. So that led me to turn around and buy these. The Axel GS Extreme 2.0s. Now these little earbuds, first they come with a cute little carrying case, and they've got a bunch of different little ear adapters so that you can get the right fit and for the right purpose. So of course they have little ones of these that are mainly for if you just want to block a little bit of noise and go through your day and maybe talk on the phone or whatever the hell walking through the friggin' woods. You're not going to necessarily need something that's going to dampen a whole lot of sound and really fit that snug in your ear. They've got a little clip to clip them to your hat, whatever. That thing sucks and I don't use it anyway. But these are also rechargeable, which almost anything you can recharge, definite advantage. So these are kind of cool. Again, kind of like with the little foamy things, you kind of squish them up, you put them in your ear, get the right form fit, little slidey thing to adjust that, and I do tend to adjust it down so that it holds to my head a lot easier. And then you take these little things, and they are very flexy, and you wrap them around your ear to help to hold it in. And I tried these out, and they were actually really, really cool, and they worked really well. I started using them first mowing my yard. They worked a lot better than my earbuds that I've been using for just Bluetooth and music. But when I took them to the range, well, you saw the outcome of that. I could hear me perfectly. I can hear the reset on my trigger as if I were resetting it right beside my head. But when I go to fire rounds, or even when that fucking muzzle brake was going off right beside me, I can hear it. And I can hear it really well. But it's not deafening to me. I didn't have any ringing in the ears. I didn't have any, loss of hearing after I temporary loss after I got off the range. And it was actually really cool. So with Ear Pro like these Pro Hears at about 82 decibels, anything beyond that, they're going to instantly, and I mean in a fucking blink, compress that sound. So you go from everything's cool, 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 you can hear everything cool, 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 to shot goes off, boom. It compresses it so that, again, you can still hear what's going on, but you're not going fucking deaf. And these will generally drop to about 27 decibels is going to be your drop level, which is a little bit better than these. These actually rated, Ear Pro like this actually rated worse. It was only a 23 decibel drop and at about 85 decibels. But again, there are advantages. One, you can hear shit going on around you. So that if there's something that you do need to hear, for example, if either somebody's coaching you, if you're just learning a weapon system, or if you're coaching somebody else, you can hear them, you can hear what's going on around you, you can hear if, God's forbid, an emergency situation comes up. And if you've got the Bluetooth turned on, you can hear your phone ring if an emergency situation comes up there and be able to deal with that. Additionally, my reason for really wanting those over something like this is when we go to the range, we tend to take, of course, pistols. Everybody's assigned a primary handgun system, and everybody is assigned a primary rifle system. So take the handgun you're assigned to fire and take another one just to play with and get more familiar with. But we also take our rifles. and trying to get that good cheek weld. And you can see that I don't have these on, so I couldn't hear myself. You can see that we are clear. But trying to get that cheek weld can be a pain in the ass. So that's really my primary reason for wanting to kind of stay away from the earmuff style. Now, of course, if I were shooting something like, say, a Barrett 50 BMG, I would probably switch off to a combination of these two right here for maximum protection. But again, I do like hearing shit around me, so that was super cool. These, like my axles, they do let me be able to get cheek welds. They don't have the issue of being hard to work with, eye protection, and yeah, they're a lot more comfortable. They're a lot easier to work with, and to me, they're just a lot more versatile. So, in the future, yeah, this is what you're going to continue to see me using, the EarPro like this. There are some that don't have the little cordy thingies. I'm a little leery of those personally, but if that's your choice, by all means, check them out. But if you've never tried Active Ear Pro and you know someone who's got some, you owe it to yourself to try them out at some point. But again, you can pick stuff like this up from guys like Walker and some of the others out there for like $40. What the hell? Give it a shot. I really think you'll like it, but that's my 2 cents worth, and who gives a shit about my 2 cents? Anyway, thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for listening. And I appreciate the love that some of y'all gave me on the short that I put up with a couple of the girls from my office. They really appreciate it too. If you enjoyed that, if you enjoyed this video, even if you didn't, what the hell? Hit that subscribe button, like, please comment. Let me know your experiences if you have used any sort of electronic, and let me know what you thought about it. Let me know what brand you thought was best if you've tried multiples. I'm kind of limited on my experience. So anyway, we will see y'all in the next video.